the spectrometer. It's the same device they used in Ghostbusters. Obviously, we have the same issues here.
Ghost problems. Tuning in right now from the Winter Park Gardens condominium here in Winter Park, Florida, and we've been fortunate enough to partner up with Agrarian Land and Pond for today's Aquatic Planting Day.
We normally think of retention ponds as just being that, the hole in the ground with some water in it, but it's so much more. This is a habitat that if we lose it, we might lose the ecosystem services that go with it, and those include water purification and food production.
So what we're doing is we're collecting a composite sample from around the lake, so we have a good profile from the effluent, from the influent, and from the center. So we'll look at turbidity, the nutrient loads, dissolved oxygen is kind of a general profile of the lake. So those are normally good indications. So the smallest little floating particle can affect your turbidity. So 2.42 with that.
We're going to go ahead and record all of the readings that we get today so that we can compare them later after we've installed all of the wetlands and hopefully be able to document how we've cleared the lake and improved the water quality here.
So this is what we call our LDO probe. It's a luminescent dissolved oxygen. So this sensor, it detects the amount of oxygen in the water. Let's go through our samples. Location M is at Michael, 6.68.
What is an ideal range?
Below 2 would be bad.
Okay.
Below 2. If you get down to like under 0.1 or 0.2, you're going to start killing fish.
And what we found was that the levels of nitrogen that are available for plants was very low, but the phosphorus was relatively high. In freshwater systems, usually phosphorus is the reason that we have algae blooms. It's really difficult to remove the phosphorus without plants. It's got to be physically removed. So by putting in the plants, now we have something that can actually absorb that phosphorus. So first we're going to take pickerelweed out. We're going to move it about 4 or 5 feet out into the water. Drop it in. Now we want to make sure that the plant has just enough space so that the leaves can come out of the water. So you do a clump of 5 of the same species here and then move down about 20 feet and do a clump of 5 of a different species. We have lizard's tail, and it's identified very easily by this floppy tail that looks very much like a lizard's tail might be. It's a very nice plant, very pretty. And we have duck potato, very high wildlife value. Ducks can eat these, they eat the roots of these and then just little nibble around there. Another reason why it's very important, we tie them to the rocks so that they can be nibbled on but not removed, and that way they'll establish into the soil. So we put the plants in the shoreline, so that way you have a buffer that's right when the water starts coming off the land and into the water, and the plants will absorb there, but some of it will get missed, and some of it will go out into the middle of the water. That's where the floating island comes into play.
We had this floating island at a research site of ours, and the research there was completed, so we moved it over here, and now we're going to put it together like a giant floating puzzle so that we can make a floating wetland that we're going to put in the middle of this lake, which will help to remove nutrients and shade out unwanted invasives growing from the bottom of the water.
The island here is 544 square feet. So we've now created more space so we can have more turtles, and what they will actually help is to consume more nutrients. Now you actually transfer the nutrients from the water into the plant, into the animal, and that's where it goes, instead of promoting algae blooms in the water, which lead to people having to use herbicides and spraying, adding another pollutant into the water body.
And I've watched people come out here with big rakes and rowboats and all of that, and it never works. It never stops it. And then the algae is forming on the surface all the time, which makes it really ugly. So I'm thrilled that you're doing this.
This is an incredible initiative because it not only helps activate communities and engage people in actually learning about aquatic plants and the importance of them, but in addition to that, we're helping this condominium, this homeowners association, to improve the water quality and to minimize and completely eliminate the chemical maintenance that normally goes into maintaining these types of ponds.
This is how the natural ecosystem works to provide what we refer to as ecosystem services, or the benefits of the natural environment to provide us with clean air, food, and water.
So we're excited and happy to see that we've officially implemented our floating wetland. We have some beautiful shoreline plantings around the entire pond. This, we hope, can be a model for not only this community, but communities across the entire state of Florida to begin introducing some of these native wetland aquatic plants that naturally filter out a lot of the high nutrient pollution that runs off into these stormwater ponds, and at the end of the day, really improving the overall quality of water around our states.
There's the big stick. There it is. There it is. Coming right for you. I think I got him on the GoPro.